Hey y'all, Hope here from Crafty Hope, and I am working on some super cute little button ornaments. These look like Christmas trees and they're made from buttons and wire, and I thought I'd just pop in and show y'all how I'm making these. Now first off, I did make a couple in green and then red and green with some brown bases. I've also made them in white with the brown bases and then white without a base at all. Now I'm really loving the just white ones simply because I like that simplicity of it. It's very neutral. It's kind of got that farmhouse feel to it. And it's not over the top. It'll go on anybody's tree or whatever without being lost. So that's what I'm working on. So I've got all of these white buttons. If you know, if you know me, you know I've got a bit of a button obsession. So I have tons of buttons. And I have lots of white buttons, which really kind of helps with this project too. So I thought I'd show y'all how to make these. I am using buttons. I am using some wire. This is just some copper colored 26 gauge. I think you could even use up to 20 gauge probably on this project, but this is what I grabbed first. Copper doesn't matter, it's just what I grabbed. I do have some browns and greens and reds sorted over here if I want them. And for my topper, I've got these star beads. Now these are just little plastic beads that I found in a big bag like this at the Dollar Tree of all places, and when I saw them I had to grab them because I wanted to make these ornaments. So let me show you what I've done here at the bottom. Let's see if I can scoot up my mat a little bit. Here at the bottom I have picked out 9 buttons and lined them up from largest to smallest. And I'm trying to decide right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick out a couple of brown ones real quick just to make a base. I think I'm only going to pick 2. If I can get in there and find 2. Alright, so there's 2. And I'm going to take my wire here. Now you do not need a whole lot of wire for this project. I am going to clip about this much. Let me see how much that is. I don't know, that's less than a foot, probably 10 or 11 inches. And I'm just going to fold this in half by meeting the ends here. And I'm not going to fold it completely. I've left a bit of a loop there that gives room for the button to fit down there. So I'm going to decide which button goes first. And I am just putting both of these wires up. And if you can see, I don't know if you can, it's really hard to see, but I did the holes that are across from each other. This is a 4-hole button, so the ones that are kind of diagonal from each other. And then I'm just going to repeat that. I'm going to take my next brown one and stick it on there as well. Again, if I can get these across from each other. And then I'm going to start with my largest button. And now this is up to you whether you do that face up or face down and how they balance. That's all completely up to you. So I am just, this one's just a 2-hole. So I am putting it through the 2 holes and down. And then I'm just going to keep going. If you see, this one still has thread in it from when it got cut off of whatever clothing item was on. I do have some scissors here if those holes are too obscured by the fabric or the thread that's on there to cut that off. But otherwise I'm leaving it in there for just a little touch of texture. So I'm not going to let the threads that are in there bother me too much. As y'all know, I love to upcycle, and the fact that there's threads in those means that those buttons have a history, and I kind of dig that. buttons strung up on my wire. And what I'm going to do now real quick is secure them just a little bit, because you can see they're kind of floppy and moving around. So I'm going to get that as tight as I can, and holding the wire like this, I'm just going to twist. And that tightens my wire and also makes it a little bit easier to get my little star on there. So I just have a little bit of a twist on there. I'm going to bring those two wires together and pick me out a star. And I'm going to insert the holes on these. There's either one that's in the crack here or one that's at the tip of the point. I'm always going to put it at the one in the crease there. That way you can make sure your star is facing up. Now once that's on there, I'm again going to pull these up tight. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to make a wrapped loop. I'm going to start by bending. I'll have a link up here and maybe down at the bottom, but definitely up here, to how to make a wrap loop. But I'm just going to bend my wire at a 90-degree angle, bring it up and around. Now I'm making this kind of a pretty large loop since it is an ornament. And I've made my loop, and then I'm just going to wrap these two wires. I'm holding both of these wires together and doing this. And just wrap it and make sure everything's super tight. And any excess wire here, I'm just going to take some wire cutters, clip that off, toss my wire. And I'm going to use a pair of chain nose pliers real quick just to secure that little bit of wire that's hanging off. Not hanging off, but you know, sticking up from where I trimmed it. And that's it. That is a hole, and I just need to add a hook, and that's it. I have a pretty little ornament made out of buttons and beads and wire. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, and make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, y'all. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.